When a fighter aircraft that already carries a strong reputation for efficiency, versatility, and advanced design receives a significant power enhancement from one of the world's most respected engine manufacturers, the aviation community naturally takes notice. The question becomes not just how this improvement elevates the aircraft's performance, but how it might shift long-standing assumptions about what modern air forces truly need. Sweden's Gripen E, widely recognized as one of the smartest and most economical 4.5 generation fighters, has entered exactly this moment of transformation. And as engine refinements take effect, boosting thrust, improving thermal control, reducing infrared visibility, and increasing durability, the broader implications for global air power planning begin to expand. It leads many observers to ask, could a fighter known for modest operating requirements suddenly reshape how nations evaluate their future fleets? Understanding this shift requires stepping back and looking at the aircraft's foundation. The Gripen E was built around a straightforward philosophy: deliver frontline performance without forcing nations to sustain massive infrastructure. From the beginning, Sweden designed the platform to operate from short stretches of road, to be serviced by small teams of technicians, and to return to flight status within minutes. In practice, these qualities allowed countries with limited budgets or challenging geography to access high-performing air capability without building costly new facilities. The aircraft's strong electronic warfare system, extensive sensor suite, and modern networking capabilities helped it compete with more expensive jets, often surprising analysts who assumed higher cost automatically meant higher effectiveness. This contrast sparked an ongoing conversation. What matters more in today's air operations, raw technological complexity, or an efficient design that can perform across diverse conditions? The new engine improvements introduced by Rolls-Royce build directly on these strengths. Rolls-Royce, known globally for powering high-performance aircraft and major military systems, applied its expertise to deliver upgrades aimed at higher thrust output, better temperature control, improved lifespan, lower infrared signature, and more efficient fuel usage. These changes reinforce the Gripen E's core identity as a fighter that balances capability with long-term sustainability. They also highlight an often overlooked truth in aviation. Sometimes the most meaningful leap in combat performance comes not from new missiles or advanced software, but from the propulsion system that anchors the entire aircraft. As nations watch how these enhancements play out in real-world operations, many are wondering whether this type of refinement will become increasingly important as future conflicts demand endurance, survivability, and resilience rather than sheer complexity. Before the new upgrades, the Gripen E already presented an unusual alternative in the global fighter market. Many air forces face pressure to modernize but cannot commit to extremely costly, infrastructure-heavy aircraft. The Gripen E challenged the traditional belief that only high-budget nations could field advanced air power capabilities. Its ability to operate with minimal logistical burden made it appealing not only from a financial perspective, but also from a strategic one. The aircraft offered a path toward independence, allowing nations to maintain sophisticated capabilities without relying on extensive foreign support. With the new engine improvements, the value proposition becomes even more compelling. This raises an important question for defense planners. When evaluating a future fighter fleet, should the focus lean more heavily on long-term operational sustainability rather than solely on maximum technological ambition? The latest upgrades strengthen the Gripen E's agility, acceleration, and energy retention, all critical factors in both defensive maneuvers and offensive operations. Greater thrust allows for faster rate of climb, more responsive handling, and improved acceleration during high-demand engagements. Enhanced thermal management ensures the aircraft can operate its systems at full performance without overheating, even during extended missions. Reduced infrared visibility improves survivability against heat-seeking weapons, a growing concern as missile systems evolve. Combined with the Gripen's existing advanced electronic warfare suite, these enhancements give the aircraft stronger protection against detection and targeting. This combination invites a meaningful question. As sensors and weapons become more sophisticated, will survivability increasingly depend on a balanced blend of stealth, electronic warfare, and heat management rather than a single specialized capability? The Gripen E's ability to maintain long-endurance missions also grows thanks to improved fuel efficiency and cooling. Many nations require aircraft capable of patrolling vast airspaces, guarding long coastlines, or monitoring remote regions. An aircraft that can stay airborne longer without refueling reduces both mission complexity and overall operational cost. When considering this factor, analysts often ask, in real-world scenarios, is extended time on station more valuable than maximum top speed or deep stealth performance? As engine durability increases, the aircraft's maintenance cycles become more predictable. Long-term maintenance planning is a critical factor for air forces working within limited budgets. A more durable engine translates to fewer unexpected repairs, less downtime, and more consistent readiness. These qualities align with the original vision Sweden had for the Gripen, an aircraft that remains available and reliable even under demanding conditions. For smaller nations or those without large maintenance infrastructure, this becomes a decisive advantage. It poses another question worth considering. Could long-term reliability ultimately carry as much strategic weight as advanced combat features? The refined propulsion system also enhances the Gripen E's ability to carry heavier payloads while maintaining strong maneuverability. Whether performing patrol missions, air defense roles, or long-range engagements, additional payload flexibility allows the aircraft to adapt to evolving threats. This adaptability is particularly important as many nations transition from older fleets and seek an aircraft that can perform multiple mission types without requiring extensive modifications. In this context, one might wonder, does a multi-role fighter gain more value when it can maintain performance regardless of mission load? Beyond performance improvements, the Gripen E's evolution highlights a broader shift in the global fighter ecosystem. As more nations reassess procurement strategies, the definition of what makes a fighter modern continues to change. For decades, the conversation centered on speed, stealth, and raw power. Today, cost predictability, maintainability, interoperability, and operational independence are rising in importance. The Gripen E's upgraded engine fits directly into this changing landscape. It offers a future-focused balance of advanced capability, reasonable cost, and flexible operating requirements. This balance leads to a natural question for viewers considering the bigger picture. As defense budgets tighten worldwide, will future airpower planning prioritize practicality over prestige? In various regions, especially those with challenging geography or limited infrastructure, the Gripen E's ability to operate from dispersed locations becomes a major asset. Road-based takeoff and landing capability allows air forces to spread their aircraft across numerous smaller sites during emergencies, reducing vulnerability. When paired with the upgraded engine's stability and improved cooling, the aircraft maintains performance even in demanding environments. This invites another debate. Should future fighter aircraft place greater emphasis on dispersed operations to mitigate risks from long-range missile threats? Reflecting on these developments, it becomes clear that the Gripen E's refinement is reshaping how many countries view long-term airpower needs. As modern threats evolve, air forces increasingly look for fighters that combine capability, resilience, and cost-effectiveness. The new engine enhancements strengthen the Gripen E's position as a credible choice for nations seeking modern performance without overwhelming their defense budgets. This leads to the central question that many strategic planners now face. As technology advances and operational requirements shift, what qualities should define the next generation of fighter aircraft worldwide? As discussions about the Gripen E's enhanced propulsion system continue to circulate among analysts and defense planners, attention naturally shifts to how these upgrades might influence the broader dynamics of international fighter procurement. Modern air forces evaluate aircraft not only for their raw performance, but also for the long-term commitments they require. Maintenance infrastructure, political considerations, training pipelines, and operational flexibility. The Gripen E, now strengthened by a more capable engine solution, repositions itself within these global conversations. It offers a blend of cost efficiency, technological sophistication, and strategic autonomy that many nations increasingly value. This brings forward a question that has echoed across numerous defense circles. As global security demands evolve, could aircraft that emphasize adaptability and affordability become the preferred choice for the decades ahead? The Gripen E's combinations of advanced electronic systems and efficient design plays a central role in this changing mindset. Nations that once believed they needed heavy, complex aircraft with extensive support networks are now reconsidering the balance between cost, capability, and flexibility. The recent upgrades reinforce the aircraft's ability to deliver consistent performance under varied conditions, elevating it from a practical choice to a strategically compelling one. Its upgraded cooling system and efficient heat management not only enhance survivability, but also protect sensitive avionics during extended missions. As the world of airborne sensors and tracking systems becomes increasingly sophisticated, managing the thermal visibility of an aircraft grows in importance. This raises a key question. How long will nations continue prioritizing extreme technological leaps over steady, reliable improvements that enhance operational longevity? In examining the nature of fighter modernization programs, the Gripen E's evolution highlights an important trend. Many air forces around the world are seeking platforms capable of multiple roles without requiring excessive maintenance. The updated engine contributes significantly to this goal. Improved fuel efficiency allows the aircraft to remain on station longer, whether performing air defense patrols, monitoring maritime zones, or supporting ground units. By reducing the need for refueling or complex mission planning, the aircraft simplifies operational logistics. These qualities invite observers to ask, when mission duration and operational endurance matter more than raw speed, does an aircraft with balanced performance become the smarter long-term investment? Another key dimension of the Gripen E's upgraded design involves its impact on national defense spending and overall force structure. Aircraft procurement represents a long-term financial commitment, often spanning several decades. When a fighter requires costly upgrades, specialized hangars, and extensive maintenance crews, the total cost of ownership can surpass initial purchase price by several multiples. The Gripen E was engineered to avoid this burden, and its newer engine enhancements further support predictable maintenance cycles and extended lifespan. Nations evaluating fighter fleets increasingly take these factors into account. This leads to an important reflection. Could the trend of escalating maintenance complexity across modern fighters eventually push countries towards simpler, more sustainable platforms to ensure budgetary stability? Beyond budget considerations, strategic independence remains one of the most influential factors in the fighter market. Some nations prefer equipment that allows them to operate without external restrictions on training, deployment, or upgrade timelines. The Gripen E's design philosophy supports this objective, emphasizing ease of ownership and minimal reliance on external support networks. When combined with the upgraded engine, the aircraft provides nations with increased confidence in their ability to sustain operations independently. This opens another question worth considering. As geopolitical tensions fluctuate, will more countries seek aircraft that offer sovereignty over long-term operational decisions? The Gripen E's enhanced propulsion system not only supports reliability, but also contributes to higher mission readiness. Aircraft that can return to service quickly after missions, require fewer specialized technicians, and tolerate rough environmental conditions provide air forces with a more responsive and resilient operational posture. When multiple nations face unpredictable regional challenges or natural disasters, a fleet capable of high sortie rates becomes invaluable. This broader operational utility invites further thought. Could increasing global unpredictability push air forces toward platforms optimized for rapid deployment and simplified support? Engaging with the Gripen E's broader impact requires considering how its upgrades influence regional air power balance. Countries with older fleets now have an opportunity to modernize without taking on overwhelming financial commitments. When nations gain access to advanced fighters at a manageable cost, the overall distribution of military capability shifts. This can encourage greater stability and cooperation, as no single country bears a disproportionate share of modernization burdens. Some defense analysts argue that this balance could strengthen regional defense partnerships. Others believe it may push certain manufacturers toward more competitive development strategies. This leads to a thought-provoking question. As more nations adopt versatile and accessible fighters, will the global market become more competitive, more balanced, or both? In discussing the aircraft's technological profile, the electronic warfare system remains one of the Gripen E's standout features. Its ability to disrupt enemy sensors, reduce detection risk, and enhance pilot situational awareness becomes even more effective when paired with improved engine cooling and reliable energy output. A stable propulsion system supports the electrical demands of advanced avionics, helping the aircraft maintain a high level of operational performance throughout extended missions. This integration raises another question for future consideration. As electronic warfare becomes increasingly central to air combat, will propulsion systems need to evolve not just for speed and maneuverability, but also to support advanced onboard computing power? The Gripen E's capacity to adapt to varied operational environments also plays a major role in its appeal. Sweeping deserts, dense forests, icy regions, and maritime borders all present different challenges. With the upgraded engine offering enhanced performance reliability across these environments, nations gain confidence in the aircraft's ability to operate consistently regardless of climate. This flexibility opens up discussions among strategic planners. Could climate adaptability become one of the defining characteristics of successful fighter aircraft in the coming decades? Because the Gripen E is designed to operate from roadways and smaller dispersed locations, the aircraft supports modern strategies focused on reducing vulnerability to long-range precision weapons. Traditional airbases can be targeted during conflicts, making dispersed operations increasingly attractive. The enhanced engine performance reinforces the aircraft's suitability for this operating model, allowing quick takeoffs, rapid relocations, and reliable performance even when operating from unconventional airstrips. This operational shift prompts another question. Will future fighter designs incorporate dispersed basing as a central feature rather than a contingency capability? The Gripen E's upgrades also encourage reflection on how nations prioritize partnership and interoperability. In alliances where member nations field different aircraft types, having a fighter that can integrate effectively through modern data links, communication systems, and mission networks becomes crucial. The Gripen E's updated propulsion system supports these functions by ensuring consistent energy availability to advanced networking equipment. This capability naturally leads to debate. Should alliances encourage diverse aircraft types to maximize flexibility, or should they align fleets more closely to streamline joint operations? Another influence on the aircraft's rising visibility is the global trend toward multi-role platforms capable of shifting between air defense, ground support, and reconnaissance tasks. The Gripen E's enhanced endurance, agility, and reliability allow it to adopt these roles without compromising mission effectiveness. As nations strive to do more with fewer aircraft, the ability to seamlessly transition between mission types becomes indispensable. This perspective raises another important question. In the future, will multi-role versatility outweigh specialized performance in determining which aircraft nations ultimately select? Looking at the Gripen E through a strategic lens, its upgraded propulsion system strengthens its role not just as a fighter jet, but as a long-term investment in national defense capability. For countries seeking to maintain readiness while avoiding excessive dependence on foreign infrastructure or support arrangements, the aircraft offers a balanced approach, with propulsion now matching its electronic sophistication and operational flexibility. The Gripen E provides a template for what future mid-tier fighters might aim to achieve. This evolution encourages further consideration. Could the Gripen E's approach to balanced design influence upcoming fighter programs around the world? As the modern fighter landscape continues evolving, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Nations are reassessing what attributes truly define effectiveness in air combat. Extreme stealth and maximum speed appeal on paper, but real-world missions often reward reliability, adaptability, and sustained availability. The Gripen E, strengthened by its upgraded engine, embodies these priorities. Its design reflects the needs of nations operating under varied constraints, from geography to budget to long-term strategic goals. This leads to a broader reflection that many defense planners are asking. As global tensions shift and technological demands grow, what combination of performance, sustainability, and autonomy will shape the next generation of military aviation? If you found today's breakdown interesting and you want to see more clear, well-explained content like this, don't forget to tap that like button. It genuinely helps the channel and lets me know these deep dive videos are worth continuing. And if you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss future episodes. There's a lot more coming, and I'd be glad to have you along for the journey. I'm also curious to hear your thoughts. What part of today's analysis stood out the most to you? Do you think upgrades like these will reshape how countries choose their next generation of aircraft? Or do you believe other factors still matter more in the long run? Your perspective adds so much value to the conversation, and your comments often inspire new topics for future videos. Don't be shy. Jump in and share your view. Thank you sincerely for spending your time with me today. I appreciate every one of you who watches, comments, and supports the channel. Wishing you good health, a positive day ahead, and plenty of curiosity to keep exploring the world around us. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.